Well, hello family and welcome to another special edition of Property Focus. In today's episode, we're going to be paying tribute to a true visionary in the world of architecture. I'm talking about the one and only, the great Alan Donovan. Now, in this episode, we're going to be touring one of his most iconic creations, which happens to be what's behind me, the captivating African heritage, which also happens to be the most photographed house in the entire continent of Africa. Welcome to Property Focus. My name is Peter Ngigi. So into the African Heritage House, already you can get to see a lot of inspirations coming in. You've got your Morocco lamp chandelier, which is right at the top, twin of them actually out in this area. This area you can come out here and just have some lunch and relax, have your tea as you get to see that beautiful view of the National Park, which is right behind you. So right behind me is the main door to the African Heritage. It's from cashmere. Actually, all the doors in this house are from Lamu, except this one, which has Indian influence, and it's got copper inlays all inside. You've got these sharp brass ornaments right over here, and we're going to open this house and get into the African Heritage. Come along. Into the African Heritage House, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful doors. Drama already begins right over here. Alan Donovan had a sense of humor. You've got these snake door stops right over here that prevent the doors from opening and wafting around because of the wind. You've got mazeras on the floor. On my right, you've got coral that clads that whole entire wall. On the roof over here, you've got mangrove wood and you've got mahogany wood as well. Right beside me, you've got these Zanzibari chairs that you could get to sit and enjoy the fireplace. On this section, you've got an array of just percussion and traditional instruments. This is how they used to play music back in the day, Generation Alpha. Generation Alpha, that's how we used to do things. Generation X, that's how things were done back in the day. And it's a beautiful space right over here. So you've got your fireplace, you've got your solid mahogany wood that sort of stages all of the ornamental art right over here. Some people may be wondering, is this house for sale? No, it's not for sale. This is a museum sort of space that gets to celebrate. Actually, this is the last of African ornamental art in the world. You're never going to get this anywhere else. This piece over here is the one that Alan Donovan thought of creating the logo of African Heritage with, and also the former vice president and Alan used to share this. There's an interesting story behind that. So come along right around the chimney into this other side. Right over here, you've got your coral wall and you've got all this ornamental art. This is in aluminium, this is in brass, and here's the man himself, Alan Donovan. So if you wanted to write something on the condolences book, it's right over there. Silk rugs right at the bottom, and this is the living room area. So let's transition and get to see bedroom numero uno, which is the Morocco room. So come along. Now, this is the courtyard area. Behind me is the dining room area where you'd come here and just enjoy yourself. Transitioning into this section, this is the courtyard. Already you can hear the birds just chirping. It is so beautiful, calm and serene right over here. Coral stone just sort of envelopes this whole courtyard area. You've got a very big acacia tree with some grave markers, which is just absolutely amazing. If I can just come out here and get to show you, you've got some grave markers right over here, which are by the Giriama people. So come along and let's go have a look at the very first bedroom. That's the courtyard area. Come along, guys. All right, so into the Morocco room. Super. Into the first bedroom. This is the Morocco room. Lamu doors right over there behind me. Again, you've got your mangrove roofing and your mahogany that just covers some sections of the roof. On this section, you've got your Morocco designed closets, which just looks absolutely amazing. hand painted, by the way. On my right, you've got this bed, African made bed, and you've got a place where you could put in your artifacts or ornaments or your jewelry. This was how they used to do it back in the day before the safes and what have you. They would cleverly tuck it in spaces like that. So right over here, you've got your Swahili chairs, and in between, you've got a very interesting instrument, which is the kora. This is called the kora. Now, for those of you who are wondering what that sounds familiar like, this is like the Kora Awards. This is what birthed the name of the Kora Awards right over here. So in this section, we've got stones that were obtained from the swimming pool area installed over here. You've got your mahogany, and it's just a beautiful space. Chimney that you could just put your wood and then get to heat up the space, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So ladies and gentlemen, we've just seen this. It's a very fast room, so you've gotten to know that you know, a lot of these names over here, by the way, you'll realize in the house birthed a lot of things that we get to see. So you've got like the Tuareg people, which you know for the VW, Sahara, which you know for the VX. But come along, don't take my word for it. Let's go have a look at more stuff over here. So coming into the end suite of this particular section, beautiful bathroom area. So you've got, again, your roofing has mangrove wood with mahogany, and you've got your vanity area set up right over here, which is with stone from Masai Mara, Moroccan sink right on this section, which is in brass. You've got your mirror also, which is from Morocco, and you've got the beautiful views of the national park. In this section right over here, you've got your Masai Mara stone bathtub on this section, and just lots of Swahili inspired furniture. So you've got this seat over here, you could just get to rest and then still again get the views out there. And over here you've got your Mazeras cladded shower in this section, which is just a beautiful look. On the top you've got your Moroccan lamps, chandelier rather, which just looks exceptional, exquisite. So come along into the second bedroom. Welcome to this area. This area is inspired by the Kamba people. A lot of beadwork going on over here. So you've got this painting over here, beadwork that's going on, some elephants and a couple of Kamba people, more beadwork, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, all of that you have within this section. And it's just spectacular with a piece for the Kamba people. On my right, you've got still more African ornamental work and even instruments right over here that Alan collected. So you see, he was a collector all through. Into this area, we're going into the foyer. This is the foyer area, and it's inspired by the Nigerian people. So you've got paintings here by Twin77, a Nigerian artist, and it's just really beautiful. So this is a boat, and I believe a lady is being taken to be married off. What they used to believe is that they would fatten their women, or the woman who's supposed to be getting married, and take her in a canoe to meet her husband. I don't know which tribe that is, but you should come over here and find out, whether it's the Igbo people, Yaosa people. It's just a lot of stories within the African heritage. So bedroom number 2. Lamu doors once again, and you've got more tapestry all around and just beautiful work that they just showcase in this section. Actually, you've got even a painting here by Matisse, you know, that just has African inspired work. It's just a beautiful space. Parquet floors at the bottom, again mangrove roofing, which are in white, which has some mahogany as well. Doors are from Lamu. On my left, you've got your water closet, Lamu doors, and the shower section inside here. All this is just African ornaments that you could get to see when you come to this house. And come along inside the ensuite of this room. You've got a sink here, Lamu inspired mirror, and this is a cool feature right over here actually. So this is a little window that you could get to peek out and see the national park, which is just absolutely beautiful. On this section right over here, you've got your bathtub. Again, you've got this Lamu Swahili sort of inspired sort of look. which is in white, and still more ornamental art within this space. Of course, closets right here in Kuba. This is the Kuba, which is from DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, and you've got this handles that are just very beautiful, very African in its look and feel. And if you want to just get an African experience, this is where you need to come to. So it's a beautiful space all in all, and we're going to now transition onto the next level of this house. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we're back, we've got more about the African heritage. Stay tuned. And welcome back from the commercial break. Now we're going into the very first floor of the African Heritage House. Coming into this landing area, it's just a lot of light and delight and just beautiful views that you're about to see in just a moment. So you've got white, you've got carved walls around this space. There's nothing sharp, it's just very embracive in the architectural form that it's in. And you've got mazaras on the floor. I'd like to direct everybody's attention, first of all, to this aluminium portrait that's on the left of a four-breasted daughter that you're going to see and just have it explained to you. It's just a phenomenal story, and that's what you have with this house. Every corner you go. Epa mask on my right, below it, that's right from Nigeria, and below you've got the Korogo cloth over here that is right from Ivory Coast. So lots of influences within this space. And let me direct everybody's attention once more to some of the ornamental art that you have right over here. This is a camel's gut that's also been placed over here. I mean, the collection that Alan Donovan has over here at the African Heritage is just spectacular. Lots of Swahili influences within this space. I mean, it's just endless. The infusion between the past and the present, this is where it's at. I think you need to come to African Heritage and just get to experience some of these things for yourself, because it's absolutely beautiful, and you can get to see why this is the most photographed house in the entire continent. So come along, let's go onto the balcony terrace. Stepping out into the outside terrace right over here, it's just a gorgeous view of the national park. You can get to see the plantation, which just looks amazing. You've got more furniture out here that's been spotted in white, like the guinea fowl, just to liven up the place. Mazaras on the floor, right around, beautiful views. On this section, you've got some day beds as well, also in the guinea fowl, sort of spotted white, and it just looks spectacular. You could just hang out over here, chill, get to open up a couple of cold ones, bubbly, get to have a look at this beautiful view as your afternoon sort of just winds down. Now, we're going to have a look at the Lamu room and then have a look at the primary bedroom. Stay tuned, but come along with me. Now, back into what I'd like to call the family room. By the way, if I didn't mention, you've got some mangrove wood right at the top ceiling over here, solid mahogany at the chimney section, mazaras on the floor, and come along over onto this side, more African inspired designs right over here, grave markers right over here from the Giriama people. On my left, you've got paintings from the Tanzania section. This is, I believe, Edward Saidi, and these are Tinga Tinga Tales, which is just beautiful. You've got a camel runner right at the back, which just looks spectacular, very beautiful, especially for taking your Instagram pictures right over here. It's just amazing. Come along onto this section. Let's go to the Lamu room. Now, out in the courtyard area, you've got lots of coral that's just cladding it all around, big acacia tree on my right, and it's just a spectacular space. So behind me, we've got the Lamu room. Behind you, you've got the primary suite. So come along, let's have a look at the Lamu room. Lots of wood and brass for the handle. So let's check it out. Now, into the very first bedroom of this floor, you've got, first of all, your bed over here. This is from the Pate, which just looks absolutely beautiful. You've got more wood inlays over here. Closets are also in wood. That's all has this Swahili sort of infusion with it. If you're coming to sleep here, they've got some robes for you to just be in spirit and in line with the theme. Come along to the bathroom area. So you've got your water closet on your right, mazeras cladding the whole space again. You've got your sink from Morocco, and it's just a beautiful sort of space. African combs over here to just sort of beautify it. And right at the bottom over here, you have your Athi River granite, and this is your bathtub right down here that you just get to sink into, and your shower that's on the other side. And on this side, you've got sort of an area you can sort of just enjoy. Beautiful, with some coral stone right over here, some glass up there. It's just looking amazing. Really love the space. Quite interesting. Again, almost all the doors in this house are from Lamu, so you might hear me say this a lot, but this is a house that has a lot of Swahili inspired architecture and designs, and I love the handles, which are in brass, which just looks spectacular. Now come along, let's go to the primary bedroom, or the master suite, where apparently this is where Alan used to lay his head. Into the primary suite, ladies and gentlemen. This place is just absolutely divine, very comfortable. Love the color tones that have been used within this space. This is a nice yellow, it's almost like a Mexican yellow, and you've got your mangrove wood right at the rooftop, and your chimney right over here, cladded again in coral, which just makes for a beautiful soft feel. And you've got all this mazeras that's been vanished, and as I transition, we're going to go into the ensuite in a bit, but hold on, we transition into the parquet area right over here as we get to see a very nice chair. This is from the Seychelles people. This is fit for a king or a queen, and you've got your footstool right over here from the Shanti people, and of course a very beautiful view of the national park. Now let me direct everybody's attention right to this headboard over here, because this is from Uganda, from an artist called Expedito Mwebe. Now he passed on, but his son Michelangelo still continues to do this, and it's just a spectacular piece of carved wood. It just looks really beautiful, right? Come along into the bathroom. And you've got to love the doors. Got to love the doors. It's got some brass right over here. This is just majestic. Into the ensuite of this primary bedroom, it's just absolutely divine. Moroccan influence, Swahili style design. This is a chair right from Rampelberg, who's over, I believe, in Mombasa Road, and he got to make this piece for Alan Donovan. So you could just get to sit here and then take your binoculars and just get to look at the wildlife that's out there in the national park, which is just beautiful. Love this vanity area that's in Mara stone right from Masai Mara. You've got your sink from Morocco. You've got your mirror also from Morocco. It's just looking really beautiful in here. You've got Zanzibar chairs right in this section. And inside this shower, you've got a Mazeras cladded shower that just looks beautiful. And I've cladded it in Kikoi, which just looks spectacular. Bathtub right on this section that you get to ascend into, sit in it, and just soak it all in, and just enjoy the African heritage and an intertwined connection between the past and the present. Ladies and gentlemen, that marks for the primary suite. So let's go on and check out the last bedroom of this house. Come along. This house has a lot of stories and tales. First of all, this is a painting in deep red by an Indian fellow. You've got masquerade outfits that are from Cameroon, which is on my left. Right in between here, you've got tapestry from Ghana, which just looks absolutely beautiful. Over here, you still have more masquerade costumes from the Cameroon region. And on my right, you've got raw silk. Ladies and gentlemen, all of this is available here at the African Heritage. It's just really beautiful. So we're about to transition to the very top and see what's waiting for us up there. Come along. Balustrades are in wood, hardwood. I believe I wouldn't trust Alan for anything less. And you've got this camel blanket that's been used as a wall runner right over here. Moroccan chandelier at the top. And you've got your clay tiles all the way as it escorts you up into the terrace area that has mahogany wood on the skirting to just give it a soft feel. So come along to the terrace. out in the terrace area, again, you've got your Lamu doors out here. Oh my God, it's just beautiful views right over here. You've got your washrooms on your left. That's the train that's passing. It's a customary rule that that train should actually hoot every time it passes over here in celebration of Alan Donovan. So you've got all these beautiful views of the national park, and some days you could get to see a lion, which is just absolutely amazing. Have some dinner out here, breakfast out here, while you're getting to enjoy that African culture, and you get to see the exterior facade, which is in the orange, and it just looks amazing. So come along into the house and get to see the last bedroom over here at the African Heritage. Come along. Into the fifth bedroom of the African Heritage. Already you've got your Swahili inspired chairs right over here, which are really cool because you could sort of just put them out. Just put them out and you would have these out and easily just put your leg, get to relax, stretch, and just enjoy as you get to watch the views of this particular place. You could come here as a couple, you could come here with your friends. You've got this daybed right on this section, Cuba inspired walls right over here, mud cloths on these cushions. You've got Luya chairs and beautiful views out here. So you've got these windows which are in wood, Lamu inspired, with the brass right over there. It's just a spectacular space. Again, mangrove wood on the top and mahogany right over here for the light fixtures. Swahili mats on the floor, coffee table, which is Lamu inspired, day beds again, which are Zanzibari inspired, which just looks absolutely spectacular. On my right, you've got these Luya chairs as well, which is just absolutely beautiful. And this about wraps up this section of this tour. We're going to go to the swimming pool area and then have a look at that as we wrap up and have a conversation with Tom. Come along. We're out here in the swimming pool area. This is like the clubhouse area. Folks, this is just something that's really beautiful. So they got the rock out of this section, put some of it in the very first bedroom. This is the adults pool. This is the baby pool right over here. Beautiful views of the national park, but still consistent with the whole theme of the house is more African ornamental art. This is a piece that is celebrating mass communication. It was done way before we had all of this social media and what have you. This is a blue sculpture just speaking about the embraciveness of just love and togetherness, I believe. It's a blue sculpture that just looks really beautiful in this area. So swimming pool right out here, you get to relax, enjoy, take it all in. The African Heritage is right behind me, lots of trees. You can come here, experience it. This is the most photographed house in Africa, in the entire continent. So that about wraps up the tour. We're going to have a conversation with Tom. Stay tuned. And welcome to Property Focus. Good.
Karibu sana to the African Heritage House.
Asante sana. Thank you very much. Brilliant. The place looks amazing. Briefly introduce yourself.
My name is Tom Otieno, born and bred in Kisumu. Then I did human resource and ended up working for African Heritage, which was a company that was started by Alan in conjunction with Joseph Murumbi. I can say that I've worked for 29 years for that company. And in 2020, that's the same year that Mrs. Murumbi died. So then I started working directly under Alan. And that's how we met. So I was his personal assistant until the time of his death. Brilliant. But before we even move any further, who's Murumbi? Joseph Murumbi was the second vice president of this country. Now, there's an interesting story about how Alan and Joseph met. Yeah. Why don't you tell us about that? Alan first got into Kenya through Lake Turkana and stayed there for a while with the Turkana people, trying to learn their trades and trade and how they would make their ornaments. So then he came to Nairobi and there was an exhibition going on, and he went for that exhibition and saw the mask from Guinea, which is a fertility mask. It's called Animba, and paid for it, but he could not pick it up until the exhibition was over. So when Murumbi went for the same exhibition the following day, he also saw the mask and was interested in having it. But he was told that unfortunately someone had paid for it. So he was really keen to find out who was this guy who had the same interest and same passion like him. So they managed to meet, and they co-shared the mask until Murumbi got his own.
What's your most treasured story about this house? Or even about Alan? How did he balance, this being a private residence and also being a tourist attraction?
The inspiration came from the mud mosques in Mali, Jene area, that inspired him to build this house. So he would drive over the weekends trying to figure out where exactly he could put up, because this is what he wanted. Then he found this space. When he built this house, it was his private home and just to entertain his guests. It wasn't open to the public. But later on, he said that he felt that he was being mean to the locals and the country, having these pieces to himself and friends and not showcasing them to the locals here. At that point, that's when he decided now to open it up to guests to come and also experience these things, because most of these things are extinct. You can't find them anywhere. He got a bit of satisfaction from that because he was happy that people would come and share this experience with him.
Given that I understand you're the management trustee,
yeah.
What would you like to see more of with this particular space?
The future, number one, is to make it bigger than where Alan left it at. Two, we would like to see fellow countrymen coming to appreciate this thing. Most of our guests are international guests or tourists who come into the country. Some even fly in just to see this house and they tell you that we are going to Arusha or Dar es Salaam. So we would like all locals also to come and appreciate, because I wasn't an art lover, but having worked here, I fell in love with them. And if something breaks or is lost, you feel like you've lost a part of you. And to the corporates, this is a bespoke place. You can come and have your parties here, functions. You can come and launch your products here. We have a very good view of Nairobi National Park with the house as a background. A very nice place.
Brilliant. What's the one iconic photo that's been taken to you as Tom of this particular house? What's the one that you just really appreciate? Out of all of them, this just has to be the very best. Is it Maria Claire? Which one do you find spectacular?
I think there's a photo that was taken by another gentleman right from the pool, and he took, I don't know, the elevation, I can't explain, but the way he got the shot right down from the pool, that is the photo that stands out to me. Yeah.
Spectacular. Well, thank you very much for coming onto the show and allowing us to just experience this beautiful house, African heritage. Is there any advice you'd like to give anybody who has a space like this?
My advice would be that rather than keeping it to yourself, and if it doesn't affect you in any way, let people come and share these things with you. The leaders that we have, and especially to the tourism sector, I would invite them to come and see this, because then you have an avenue of selling this country to the rest of the world.
An interesting fact about the Maasai market started out as a residue buying day for African Heritage House. The original gallery was at Kenyatta Avenue, where the A&M Bank stands right now. Traders used to come on Tuesday. That was the day when they will bring in orders and also take new orders for the gallery. And then when they were chased away, they didn't have a place to meet to bring in their arts. So they started meeting around Globe Roundabout, where Alan started buying from there. And then after that, they started moving different locations. That's how Maasai Market started.
Now, African heritage is a masterpiece that's going to be here for years to come. So you might as well come and get to see this iconic creation of Alan Donovan. Thank you for keeping it Property Focus. My name is Peter Ngigi.
Que tala, ah, yeah.